Morning sunlight spilled over the river, turning the water into a living ribbon of gold and silver that stretched between the forested banks. The forest awoke with quiet murmurs. Leaves whispered in the breeze, birds called to one another from treetops, and insects flitted through the air in restless patterns. Among all this life, one creature moved with a rhythm entirely its own, a small otter whose sleek body glimmered as it slid into the river with effortless grace. The otter had always loved the water, the mud, the rocks, and the currents. It twisted and turned beneath the surface, chased fish with agile leaps, and rolled joyfully along the banks. Its energy was boundless, a force of light and laughter in the midst of the more solemn forest. Yet in moments of quiet, the otter wondered whether its playfulness was frivolous, whether the other creatures were right to focus only on serious matters. The beavers tirelessly reinforced their dams, sculpting the river's flow to their purpose. The deer moved carefully, alert to every shadow and sound. Birds built nests with meticulous care and attention. The otter's antics, by comparison, seemed small, even inconsequential. And yet, the otter could not suppress the pull of its own spirit. A deep, unspoken understanding had always whispered within it, carried along with the river's current. There was power in joy, wisdom in play, and strength in lightness. It was a lesson the otter had yet to fully articulate, yet one that guided its movements with a quiet insistence. The morning passed in a series of flips, dives, and playful chases through the water. Fish darted away, water splashed in sparkling arcs, and the otter's laughter-like chirps resonated along the banks. It leapt from rocks, rolled in the mud, and twirled beneath hanging branches. From the outside, it appeared almost reckless, but every motion was precise, measured, and attuned to the flow of the river. Energy that could have been wasted in aimless movement was instead channeled into graceful motion that allowed the otter to navigate every current, dodge every obstacle, and explore every nook and cranny of its watery home. The forest watched silently. A heron perched on a nearby log, tilting its head as if disapproving, while a family of deer paused mid-step to study the otter with curiosity. Even the beavers seemed to shake their heads at its boundless antics. The otter felt the weight of their judgment for a moment, but quickly returned to its rhythm. The water had a language all its own, and the otter listened to it more closely than any external opinion. As the sun climbed higher, the otter ventured further downstream, discovering hidden pools where the river widened and deepened, shadowed by overhanging branches. Here, it could dive and twist in 3 dimensions, exploring currents that twisted unpredictably, evading rocks and fallen logs with skill born of years of playful practice. Every leap, every twist, every dive trained its body and mind in ways the otter barely realized. Strength came not from force alone, but from flexibility and responsiveness. Coordination, balance, anticipation, and timing were honed in these joyful movements, and the otter's laughter flowed as naturally as the river itself. Occasionally, small animals from the banks watched from a distance, some envious of the freedom the otter displayed, others skeptical of its seemingly purposeless activity. But the otter paid them no mind. Its attention was fully absorbed in the water, the currents, and the joy of motion itself. Evening approached, and a gentle calm settled over the forest. The otter clambered onto a sun-warmed rock to rest, shaking its fur and letting droplets scatter into the fading light. Despite the day's endless activity, it felt neither fatigue nor frustration. Its muscles, honed through playful repetition, worked in harmony with its mind. Its senses, sharpened by constant alertness and motion, were keen and responsive. Its spirit, nourished by laughter and delight, remained light. In that still moment, the otter realized a truth it had long felt but never fully understood. Play was not weakness. Joy was not frivolity, and energy spent in delight was not wasted. Every movement, every dive, every twist had built strength, awareness, and resilience, preparing the otter for life's unforeseen challenges in ways that seriousness alone could never provide. The days that followed continued in the same pattern, but the river, like life itself, did not always remain calm. One morning, clouds gathered in a sudden sweep across the sky. The wind rose and bent the trees, sending leaves fluttering into the river and creating waves that rippled unpredictably. Rain fell lightly at first, then in sheets, turning the river into a rushing, turbulent current. The otter faced its first real test. The once familiar pools and channels became unpredictable, rocks shifted, and currents threatened to sweep it downstream. In these moments, the otter's prior play proved its value. Its body was supple, its reflexes sharp, and its mind alert. Each leap, each dive, each twist learned through countless playful hours allowed it to navigate the storm with precision and grace. Where an untrained or serious-only creature might have panicked or been carried away, the otter moved with confidence and skill. It flowed with the water rather than resisting it, anticipating obstacles and adjusting in real time. In this, joy became more than delight. It became survival, mastery, and strength. After the storm passed, the river returned to its usual calm, but the otter had learned something new. Joy was not merely a source of pleasure. It was a tool for resilience, a mechanism for growth, and a foundation of wisdom. Movement born of play sharpened instincts, strengthened the body, and trained the mind to respond with calm alertness in moments of challenge. Energy spent in delight was an investment, not a waste. In the quiet aftermath, the otter floated on its back, letting the sun warm its fur and reflecting on the harmony between play and purpose. It understood that the laughter-like chirps it had once thought frivolous were the outward expression of inner strength, and the playful dives had been a rehearsal for the unexpected currents of life. Over the weeks and months, the otter's reputation among the forest creatures subtly changed. Those who had once judged its playfulness began to notice its agility, speed, and adaptability. Birds observed that it could navigate the river in ways they could not. Beavers recognized the precision and timing of its movements. Even the cautious deer saw how it could respond to sudden threats without hesitation. The otter remained unbothered by attention. It continued to move as it always had, guided by its own instincts and joy. In quiet, subtle ways, its playful discipline became a model, demonstrating that strength could coexist with lightness, that resilience could be cultivated through delight, and that wisdom could emerge from authenticity rather than conformity. As seasons changed, the river transformed. Summer brought warm, tranquil days. Winter brought ice and swift currents, and each challenge tested the otter anew. Yet the otter remained steadfast, moving joyfully, learning continually, and maintaining its inner balance. It discovered hidden streams and quiet pools, perfected intricate dives and spins, and found ways to flow with currents that would have caught others off guard. Every playful leap and twist, every cheerful flip along the riverbank, became a lesson in adaptability, foresight, and harmony. It realized that life itself was a river, and that the secret to thriving was not rigid control, but responsive engagement and joyful participation. Play was a training ground. Joy was a preparation for anything the world could send. Strength lay in flexibility, alertness, and the willingness to engage fully with the present. One particularly cold morning, a strong flood swept down from upstream, churning the river into a turbulent force that threatened to tear everything in its path. Trees bent dangerously, debris raced along the currents, and even seasoned forest animals struggled to find safe footing. The otter, instinctively playful, now faced a trial of endurance. It leapt, twisted, drift of and surface repeatedly, flow of the flood rather than against it. Every movement was calculated, yet graceful. Every response was instinctive, yet precise. The flood tested every ounce of strength it had developed, not through weightlifting or battle, but through laughter, play, and daily joy and movement. The otter emerged safely, its fur damp but spirit unbroken. In that moment, it understood the full meaning of its playful life. Joy was strength, and strength was the foundation of survival, mastery, and freedom. When the waters calmed, the otter rested on a high rock, looking out over the river that had both challenged and shaped it. The forest seemed to hum in quiet approval. Life had been harsh, unpredictable, and sometimes cruel, yet the otter's approach had prepared it perfectly. Play had become purpose, joy had become skill, delight had become mastery. It was no longer just a creature of the river. It was a living example of the truth that strength and joy are inseparable. And so it leapt back into the water, twisting, diving, and rolling, fully alive, fully present, fully free. Its laughter-like chirps echoed across the river, a reminder to every living thing nearby that joy was not weakness, play was not frivolity, and the lightest heart could carry the deepest strength. Through countless days, seasons, and storms, the otter continued its dance along the river. Each flip, each dive, each joyful sprint was a thread in the invisible web of its resilience, a silent testament to the power of authentic movement. And the forest, in its quiet way, observed and learned. Strength does not always roar. Sometimes it flows, twists, and leaps with delight. Wisdom does not always instruct. Sometimes it plays, laughs, and spins. And life, in all its unpredictability, favors those who cultivate inner joy as diligently as they cultivate outward skill. By the time the otter had grown older, its movements retained the fluidity of youth, but were guided by deep understanding. It knew the river intimately, from the calm pools to the raging currents. It knew the forest around it, from the low shrubs to the towering trees. It had learned that joy is not a distraction from life. It is the very means by which life is mastered. And when younger otters began to explore the riverbanks, they watched in awe, imitating flips, dives, and playful chases. The wisdom of joy spread quietly through the generations, not as a lecture, but as a living, breathing example. Strength and delight are inseparable, and a heart that plays fully is a heart that thrives. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long golden reflections across the river, the otter floated on its back one last time for the day, feeling the current move beneath it. It reflected not on fear or caution, not on judgment or expectation, but on the truth it had learned. Life is a river to be navigated with skill, presence, and joy. Strength is cultivated not through rigidity, but through the freedom to move, explore, and delight. And the otter, small yet mighty in its own way, knew that its playful heart was the source of everything that made it strong. Step by step, leap by leap, flip by flip, it had turned every moment of joy into a foundation of resilience, and every act of play into a lesson for the world. And so, as the river carried the last glimmers of sunlight downstream, the otter moved to the water as it always had, joyful, alive, unbroken, and stronger than ever, a living testament to the power of play, the wisdom of delight, and the unshakable strength found in a heart that chooses joy above all else.